you are joining me for the first time, please remember to click subscription button and hit that notification bell to be the first person to receive the video that will be produced by Davi-tech-media. Davi-tech-media, updating you. Davi-tech-media, subscribe to Davi-tech-media.
Sometimes adopted children don't last. You can take them to school, give them an education. After some time, an adopted child will always find something wrong with the mother or the father. It is not just in political parties. It is in homes, it's everywhere. So sometimes have the spirit to know that you have a purpose on earth. And that purpose, if you're a leader like yourselves, it is a purpose for unity. Before I go into the discussions of why we are here today, I want you to know that FDD is a peaceful party. And FDD is a party that unites all the tribes of our republic. We as a party, in 2005, we even took the extraordinary step to stretch our friendship to UPND and to UNIP. To crown it, we were the custodians of the spirit of unity. And our own vice president and state council even went to the registrar of societies to register UDA. Here is proof of that. We still keep this certificate for our memoirs. The events of UDA are history, but the indelible record that FDD is a party that unites people will never be erased from our history. And you must be very proud of that. Yes. You must be extremely proud of that. In fact, in 2005 and 6, when we seemed that we couldn't unite, our vice president said to me, you know what, let's just go it alone. And I said, no, consult the people, our national secretary, everybody. We said no. You know, it pays to wait. They say even those who stand still and wait. And I called my colleague, our brother in UPND, and we made him president of UPND, of UDA. That's how he moves into politics. I'm saying this so that you don't forget the history. That we as a party from time to time, we have swallowed our desire to govern and allowed others to go before us. If it doesn't work, it is not because of us. We were and we have always been a peaceful party, a winning player, but sometimes adopted children abandoned their forebears. I remind you of that. Today marks an extremely important chapter in the history of our party, the Third National Convention. I know a lot of you have been calling for the convention. There is always an appointed time and space for everything. I want to thank all of you from the provinces, all the 10 provinces. I know that our members who are numerous would have wanted to be here, but save for COVID, we just have to go by the regulations of the health practitioners. It was not possible for everybody to come here, but I thank all of you who participated in the provincial conferences and organized to make it possible for us to get here. And I want to thank our leaders who have been traveling to different provinces. We have had 2 trips. We did 5 provinces, and then we went to the last 5 provinces. I personally didn't think that it would be that possible, but our leaders whom you see here made it happen together with you. I'm truly indebted as your leader for the effort that you have continued to make. We all know that our country is passing through difficult challenges. We have the national debt, which is hanging on our heads. We have the COVID pandemic. But I always say that for everything there is a solution. If we as Zambians band together, there is nothing impossible. There is nothing impossible. Just as it has been possible for us to have this conference, thanks to our supporters, and we are truly indebted for those who have stretched a loving hand, a helping hand to us as FDD, and seeing the need to renew our mandate, to legitimize our existence, and stretch a helping hand of friendship, of resources, and availability of moral support for us to get where we are. I can't forget to thank you enough, your families that you have left behind, the children that you have left behind. It is not the money that is most important. It is the spirit of togetherness. It is the spirit of contribution. And while on that, I want to say that this party has a future. That future is in your hands. It is not the singular responsibility of the National Secretary, the chairpersons, and all those people in leadership to spearhead the future of this party. It is the responsibility of each one of us, yes, at the ward level, at the constituency level, at the district level, at the provincial and national level. You see, if we work together, everything. Forming government is possible. And it is possible when you get down to work. Brothers and sisters, I have said that the national debt is like a yoke on each one of us. And many doomsday prophets will say that Zambia is, in fact, in the downward side. I see a future ahead of us, a future where our negative fortunes can be turned into positive fortunes. And this can only be possible if each one of us renews our commitment, not to ourselves, but to our mother Zambia. I see a future where the policies that we enunciated almost 20 years ago, that if they continue to be implemented, the future of this country is bright. As a party, we still believe that the vehicle to developing this country is through democratic decentralization. Yes. We see as a party that the root cause of poverty in this country is because everything happens at the center in Lusaka. I know that our colleagues in government have borrowed the spirit of decentralization from here, but we still believe that the better way to implement decentralization is to adopt district budgeting. The only time every mother, every household will have access to resources is when, as a nation, we adopt district budgeting. When you can stand up and say that Luamba is as important as Lusaka, when you can stand up and say Chiengi as a district is as important as Kasama, and they each need autonomous management and autonomous budgets. That way, we shall be taking development to our people. As players in national development, our party is very critical. You will see that some parties which are more than 20 years old, they are just launching their manifestos. When you go through our manifesto, you have very little to review. You'll be delighted that when you talk about the fisheries sector, I personally feel that our current government did have a peep at our manifesto. Yes. And therefore, you must understand that FDD policies are cardinal in the development of our nation. We believe that as a party, the agricultural sector, and that's why you are wearing green, the leaf represents agriculture. If you look at our colors, you will notice that that leaf is forever alive. That is representing agriculture. And for us, we believe agriculture can only be achieved when agricultural development will be at its fullest, when every household is cash secure, is food secure, and is able to use the agricultural sector to cover the needs of a family. 75% of the Zambian people depend on the land. We need to understand that agriculture is not just maize. That for us to get rid of our debt, we need to adopt smart agricultural policies, such as fish farming, which is in our manifesto, such as agroforestry. We cannot, as a country, if you take any district, and I want to take Luamba, not Namshake today. If you take Luamba, you can go throughout the district, you will not find one citrus tree where a child can plant oranges. Is it impossible, by General, for you to plant just 2 orange trees? Is it impossible for each one of us in this country to just plant 1 orange tree? We would have 17 million trees. 17 million orange trees. We need to change our attitude towards agriculture from subsistence to commercial agriculture. I For me, agriculture is the only solution. I know God has bequeathed to us with gold, cobalt, copper, molybdenum. I don't know the color of gold, how it looks, because I don't have a gold mine, although I'm wearing one. But I don't know how cobalt looks and what they make out of cobalt. But I know that from maize you can make mini. From maize you can make diesel. From soybeans you can make diesel. From oranges you can make fruit juice. From pine trees you can make timber. This country right now is importing timber. If each one of us every year plants one tree, we would have planted 17 million trees every year. I just want you to understand that agriculture for us as a party is the only solution. And we don't believe that agriculture is only about subsistence. We believe that agriculture is the key to poverty eradication, not alleviation. If you give me some sweets when I'm hungry, I will alleviate my hunger, but I will not be full. We need, as a country, to aim at poverty eradication. And it is the household, as we enunciate in our manifesto, that faces poverty. It's not the state. When a household has food, when a household is able to take their children to school, then you can say that household is food secure. That's why for us as a party, we base our manifesto and development agenda on creating wealth in a household. When I'm sick, I don't go to the state to take me to the hospital. I ask my next of kin to take me to the hospital. That person has to have money in their pocket. And they can't go on the street and say, give us money so that we go to the hospital. You have to have those facilities. And therefore, it is important that we create a Zambia where households are cash secure and food secure. And that is the theme for our conference. That is the theme for our being here. A lot of people will tell you that FDD is not relevant. Just go to the document. In this document, in 2001, we put in here that we want a health sector where individuals can contribute to the cost of that. I think now you hear from our friends in government that is there's the National Health Insurance Scheme. I think clap for ourselves. Our policies are relevant. Our policies are relevant. Our policies are relevant. And our policies are of value because they were created by you, men and women, who could see a future beyond 5 years, beyond 10 years, who could see a future where truly you want this country to be. And we are still on that journey. And you are the people who have to get Zambia to a level where we are calling ourselves a country where everybody can have food on the table. As FDD, food daily. FDD, food daily. FDD, food daily. FDD, food daily. We did say Zambia first. What did we mean? I think that all of you know that at the time and still today, we as a party believe that Zambia can only be developed by Zambians. We don't expect friends from all and sundry. I was reading 2 days ago that foreigners are looting gold. If that gold in the hands of Zambians, I don't think you will take it anywhere. If you have gold in Nakonde, you will build a school in Nakonde. If you have gold in Luampa, you will build a grinding mill in Rwanda. But if someone from far and wide comes to loot our resources, they can only develop their countries. So we say FDD, Zambia first. FDD,
Zambia first.
FDD,
Zambia first.
FDD,
Zambia first.
Brothers and sisters, the program for today is very clear. We are renewing our mandate to the party. We are renewing our mandate to the party. Each one of us. And I want to state here in front of the press that each and every position in our party is available for contestation. We are not a party that says Ichichesu. Those of us who haven't performed, you need to give us a red card. Because organizations must live beyond individuals. There should never be allegiance to individuals, but there should be allegiance to the policies and programs of an organization. And therefore, we are one of the rare parties which is extremely democratic. You know our history, where we came from. Those of us who haven't performed, President Nawakwi, and all of us, if you really feel there's need for replacement, feel free. Don't be intimidated. No one should intimidate you. This is your party. This is your party. Without you, there will be no FDD. Yes. Without you, there will be no convention. Yes. Without you, there will be no secretariat. Yes. So, here, after the dissolution of the positions, we are all equal before the party. Yes. We are all equal before? We are all equal before? Thank you very much. However, having said that, I want to appeal for unity. United we stand, divided we fall. We are a party that has been tempted from time to time. And because of our unity and working together, today we can celebrate this day. Today we are a proud party. Today we are a party, even in this country, that people look around and say, that is FDD. Don't be swayed. Don't be disoriented. Keep focused. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep focused. This is your party. Countrymen and women, friends and relatives, I wish to appeal to you that as you elect your leaders, we shall stand ready to sacrifice for the sake of the party. When you are elected to that position, please don't look to our Deputy National Secretary and say, how will I come to Lusaka? How will I mobilize? Let us be creative at the grassroots. Recently, I want to tell you a nice story. I discovered that each time I plant beans in Chisamba, where I have a farm, by this time, there's no rain. So, I shifted my focus to Mpika, Kanchibia constituency. And we have there about 350 ladies and youths who planted beans in 2020 to 2021. And all it took was a 10 kg of seed, and they planted. And you know, right now they are harvesting. They should be able to get 40 tons of beans because they were doing small lots. And you know, beans is like $1,000 per ton. Let's just put it 22,000. I'm now coming to the practical aspect of FDD. So now, if each one of us and 1,000 a ton of beans is just 20, 50 kilogram bags of beans. If you do 1 hectare, you will get 3 tons. So I think all of you plant more than a hectare of maize. I believe those of us who come from the villages, we plant more than a hectare of maize. We plant more than a hectare of millet. We plant more than a hectare of cassava. And therefore we can plant a hectare of beans. If you just plant a hectare of beans, you will get 3 tons. Now, $3,000 is 70,000 kwacha. And therefore, if in a ward or constituency, we get just our ward leaders to just plant half an acre of beans, we can support the party at the grassroots level. We can also support the party at the national level. So, as we go beyond the elections, I am demanding that our party wears boots and demonstrates what we preach. Agriculture in the practical sense. We want to hear, because I also discovered that in the villages, people have depleted, there's no seed. And therefore there's need to renew the seed for our people. We want to hear from the center that you want fruit trees, because those have to be collected from different places. We want to hear that you've organized your ward, your constituency, and you're looking for various types of crops for you to be able to plant. I was also amazed when I visited Nakonde, when I found young men who had gotten together and were propagating pine trees. Mr. Siame is here. In the 2020-2021 season, in Nakonde, they have been able to distribute 40,000 pine trees. But that is done by youths, and they were selling a tree for 2 kwacha. So for us, the political side was to be able to access those pine trees, deliver 1,000 to a school, and 15 to this 1,000 to this village headman, and young people are happy because 5 years from now, they will be harvesting those trees and selling them. Because you see trucks which are coming out of Tanzania into Zambia, laden with timber. But Zambia was at some point a timber surplus country. Now we are going into a timber deficit country. What is happening to us? What is happening to us? It requires you leaders to take the leadership. Don't look up to the government. Let the government look up to you for direction, for guidance, for hard work. And at that point, you can then say, Zambia is truly for Zambians. And that Zambia is truly in your hands. Don't complain if the Chinese come and start mining your manganese. You can do it too. You can get together and do it. So, let us get together and work together. Brothers and sisters, I want to say and declare this 3rd elective conference officially open. Thank you very much.
If you are joining me for the first time, please remember to click subscription button and hit that notification bell to be the first person to receive the video that will be produced by Davi-tech-media. Davi-tech-media, updating you. Davi-tech-media, subscribe to Davi-tech-media. Davi-tech-media, subscribe to Davi-tech-media.